What's up, guys? I got something a little different for y'all today. I picked up another car. I haven't really had any other projects around here besides this C10, but I found a killer deal on a car. I really wasn't in the market buying anything, but I couldn't help it. I found this car. Actually, I found it through a buddy of mine, and I got a hell of a deal on it. I've had one before, but it had a lot of Bondo and I couldn't see past it, so I got rid of it. But I got a Lexus. This is a 2002 IS300. I'll get to all that in a second. But it's a very, very straight car. It is extremely dirty because it's covered in tree sap, which is not a horrible thing. I think that protected the paint. So I think once I get this detailed and washed, it'll come out really nice. But yeah, 02, 167,000 miles, which is crazy. At this point, these cars are at least pushing 230, 240. Little bit of clear coat coming off on the back. That back side of the car was outside, or out from under the tree. So the sun got to the back a little bit. But other than that, very straight body car. Even the factory wheels are in good shape. They're dirty, but the chrome isn't peeling off of it. My other car, I had a gray one, and the chrome was peeling off every wheel, and it drove me insane. But yeah, it's an auto. These cars are, pretty much all auto. They're very rare to find in a manual, as you IS300 people already know. But yeah, so check out the interior of this car. I did clean the interior already and everything, but I mean, this thing is spotless. Door cards are all in great shape. Nothing's broken. Everything's there. Another thing, this car is 100% factory. There is not a single aftermarket part on this car, which was insane to me. But yeah, seats phenomenal. The carpet, great shape. Even pop the trunk. Even in the trunk, I mean, I know y'all are gonna say the trunk's not a huge deal, but it has everything. I mean, it's got the not cardboard, but the harder piece underneath this that's in great shape, and it's got the spare tire cover with the factory Lexus tools that it sends, or that they put in these cars when they sold them. So, story behind the car: it sat under a tree for several years. A guy bought it and wanted to, I think, make a drift car out of it, but the car would crank over fine and not start. So I picked this thing up for $1,500, clean Texas title, in phenomenal condition. Like I said, look past how disgusting and dirty the outside is. Yeah, I'm so stoked about this car. I was not buying a car, but when I heard that he would pretty much give this thing away, I jumped all over it. So I verified that it does turn over great. It has oil in it. Verified all the fluids. It has all fluids. But lose my train of thought here. Borrowed a scanner from my buddy, scanned it, and it has apparently the infamous P1300 code, which is associated with the igniter. So after I went down the rabbit hole of that code and looking on the forums, which is crazy because all the forums on this code and these igniter issues are all freaking back to like 2010, 2011. I haven't really seen any new posts on any forums about this, but so it's throwing a code for this, which could also be associated to the cylinder number 1, because these use a waste spark, and I think number 1 also jumps to jumps to 6 back here. So I got to looking around at that. I just pulled this top portion, the throttle body off. It didn't take me too long. There's 1,000 videos out there on these guys tearing stuff apart. But basically there's a little adapter. There's 3 bolts that hold an adapter on. There's a long bolt that comes out of it. Your throttle body slides over, and then you have a hose here on the side. You have a hose here underneath it. Plug here, your throttle cable. You have a cable here and here. So be mindful of those. These cars are, from my experience, known for the harnesses, especially underneath all this, to just be dry and turn to freaking dust. But when I got to looking into this thing, I figured out that this coil plug right here, you can't really see it all that well, but it's just broken apart. And the wires, let's see if you can get in there. See how the wires are just cut and open and exposed? And every one of these connectors for the 3 coils is broken. Yeah, and see, this one is so dry. That's what it's supposed to look like. And that's what this one looks like. So, yeah, I think this portion of the harness needs to be replaced. Or at least the pigtails to put a new connector on it, which I've ordered. eBay, 15 bucks shipped. So I'm waiting on these pigtails to come in. I'm going to redo those. I'm about to pull all the coils out, all 3 coils and the plug wires and everything, and pull it all out because there is a little bit of oil residue in here. Another thing these are common for is valve cover leaks. So I'm going to pull all those out. I'm probably going to take this off because if I'm this far in it, I'm going to do the valve cover gaskets. I just haven't gotten to this yet. Which I probably could have taken the whole thing off as one unit, but I did it this way just because the first thing I wanted to take a peek at was right here, and I can get to that without taking the whole upper intake manifold off. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to figure out, yeah, anyway, so any issues with this or misfires or, you know, coil going bad or whatever, can also cause this code, if I'm not mistaken, because it'll put the car in fail-safe mode. Because I was getting no fuel pump and no spark. What I thought, and I looked at some videos, some people, so this is your fuel pump control module. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or resistor. I think it's a fuel control module. But you go back to the fuel pump. I put everything back together. But there's a green with a red stripe wire, I think. That runs to that module. So if you bypass that wire, you snip it and just run a hot wire to something that's 12 volt key on, you can essentially have your fuel pump back. And that's what I did. And I got it to where when I turned the key, I had fuel pump. Still wouldn't start. And that's how I figured out that I don't have spark either. So I think the car is just in a limp mode. I've got no spark. I've got no fuel. And I think it's due to this. But I think it's these broken clips in here, either arcing or, you know, doing something to cause this code to come up. So anyways, I'm going to keep digging in here, and next clip I'm not sure when it'll be, probably a couple days whenever these come in, and I'm going to rewire these. By that time, I will have all this cleaned up and maybe replaced depending on what they look like when I pull them out, because I haven't pulled them out yet. But yeah, so that's what we're working with now. If y'all are interested in 2JZ stuff, obviously, yes, I am going to do an NAT setup because that's just what I've always dreamed about doing. 2JZ is my #1 dream engine. Mark IV Supra is my dream car, but I don't have Mark IV money, so the 4-door Supra, I know that's kind of tacky, but the Lexus IS300 will have to suffice, because this primarily is just my dream platform. Turbocharged, obviously. And I want to do a log manifold on it because I've done a lot of research. I'm chasing a certain noise, a certain sound out of these cars, which is the 1JZ sound. And I know that I'm not going to officially get that sound out of this because that's just a very significant sound that only comes from the 1J. But I've done a little research, and if you put a log on this, it gives you that similar 1J rasp. Not quite the same, but similar enough for me. So anyways, yeah, we'll be back in a little bit. For y'all, it'll be a couple seconds. For me, it'll be a few days and waiting on parts to come in. All right, guys, we're back. It's been a few days. Got the connectors in. Good old eBay specials. 15 bucks shipped for all three of these. Not too bad. So I'm about to get started on this harness. Yeah, I cleaned the engine bay up quite a bit since my last little clip that y'all saw. Had nothing but time. Anyways, so yeah, I'll start by snipping these off and probably shortening these up. I don't need quite that much wire, although I don't know that it'll hurt having some extra. So yeah, I'll get started on these. Shouldn't take me too long. I do have to get this oil and debris and just all this crap out of here. I gotta go borrow a suction tool down the road from a buddy of mine to get all that oil out. I am gonna pull the plugs too, and I'll show y'all what they look like when I get them pulled out. So, well, let's get started. All right, don't mind the music in the background. So this is what we're gonna end up doing. I'm gonna splice the wire here, do a butt connector, shrink it onto here with some fire. And then I also got these to put over that butt connector to shrink that on there as well. What the hell they call these things? Just heat shrink, I guess. Yeah, and that way it should look a lot cleaner. So I'm gonna finish this first plug here. I'll show you what it looks like once I got this on, and then I'll do the other two off camera because you don't need to see it over and over again. So be back in a second. All right, here's the finished product. I went overkill and even put electrical tape on top of all that. So honestly, the electrical tape kind of made it look like shit, but at least I know it's secure and it's not coming out. I am gonna wrap this up. I don't have any, whatever you want to call it, to put around here. So I may just run some electrical tape around it, just temporarily, or temporarily permanently, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna finish the other two and then we'll move on to getting these plugs out and cleaning up that oil. What? I meant to take a picture. All right, got the harness done. 1 coil, 2 coil, 3 coil. I wanted to give you all a brief look now that I have found my light as to what oil I'm referring to. See the oil around that plug? Just how nasty this is. There's not really anything around that one. Yeah, we got some around that one, and not so much around these other two back here, but just a bunch of junk in here. I want to suck all that out. Got a little mechanism here to get it out, but I just wanted to show y'all before I got these cleaned out, and then I'll pull the plugs after that and see what they look like. Ew! Get out. All right, got them all yanked out. You can see how dirty it is now. You can see the top of the piston all shiny because some of the oil made it past it. Looks like about basic amount of carbon buildup. What the hell am I trying to say? Yeah, anyway, so here it is. Or here they are. This is 1 through 6. And you can see that, I mean, they look like used spark plugs. This one was pretty soaking wet, but I think a lot, if not all, this oil that's on here, see, that one's fairly dry. I think all that oil came from what was left over in the valley. So I'm gonna brake clean these and dry them up, get all the freaking oil out, and then I'm gonna clean in the valley and put them back in. Another thing I found out as I was doing this, I just found out, but if you look, let me set this down. If you look, it's missing a bolt here and here for the valve covers. So yeah, I just barely noticed that. Obviously I don't have any bolts. So what I may do to at least get some clamping pressure down right here is rob one of these and put it right here. So this one's missing one and this one's missing one rather than this missing two. To at least clamp that down a little more, because I bet that contributed a lot to this mess right here. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take this one, put it here, tighten it down, and then clean all these up. I got a junkyard not too far down the road from me that has like 5 or 6 of these cars, so I can probably find what I need as far as any missing hardware or anything. But anyway, yeah, I'll clean these up and get them back in, and then I can start with the reassembly of the throttle body and the intake and plug everything back in, and then we'll be able to fire it for the first time, hopefully. So we'll see. Little pro tip for cleaning these out: get you a long flathead, a microfiber, that's a damn leaf, microfiber towel you don't care that much about, and yeah, she cleans them up pretty good. Get in there, you can get all around, twist the flathead, and the end will catch the rag and start spinning it. Oh yeah, looking good. All right, so we got everything plugged back in, all our coils are plugged in, and let's see, man, those clips sounded nice. Good crisp click, like it's supposed to be. Anyways, I wanted to show you this little adapter here before I went any further, because I haven't dealt with this before. This is kind of my first time digging into one of these motors. I watched YouTube till I'm blue in the face, but first time putting my hands on it. But anyways, yeah, so this is held on with 3 separate bolts, 2 up here, 2 on the bottom, and then your throttle body will slide over this and bolt to this on the other side of it. Nut here, 2 bolts up here. And then, you know, you got all your lines you need to be mindful for. I think this one needs to go on, excuse me. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I think this one can go on when it's on and just shove it on. Yeah, this one went underneath. That I think I had to take it off and then lay it over to undo that. So I would do this one first and then lay it down, slide it over, and you should be able to plug everything up and get your hoses on. So I'll keep cracking at this. Alright guys, hopefully my battery doesn't die, but we are fully reassembled. Like I said before, this car is completely 100% factory. So got everything put back on, factory airbox, got the battery in. The battery I don't think is doing very hot. I've had it on the charger this whole time, so hopefully it does something. But yeah, this will be our first attempt since we did the coils. Put that on a start mode, and let's hope and pray this thing starts. Oh shit, hang on guys, sorry. Steering was a little locked. Alright. Come on baby, turn over. All right, well, back to the drawing board. I'm gonna look over this, see if I missed something, and I'll be in touch. All right, guys, we're back, and I owe y'all a little bit of an explanation. It has been 3, maybe 4 days since that last little clip. Many things have happened. As you can tell, the car is no longer parked right here where it was before. It is now on this side of my shop, and you might notice it looks a little more shiny. So I'll get to it. All right, so the last clip, the car still wouldn't start. So what I did on the drawing board was look into this. Ordered one, and it was supposed to be here on Saturday, which was yesterday. Today is Sunday. Well, the shipping updated, and it was going to be here Monday, tomorrow. So I was a little bummed about that. So me and my buddy TJ took a trip to the junkyard and found one. Here's one I took off. I mean, nothing visibly, obviously. They all kind of look the same. Found one off of a GS 300. And that's that one right there. You you can tell because it's faded and everything else in here looks great. And well, I'll show you what happened. Oh. This thing fired right up. No issues. My check engine light went off. I cleaned the mass airflow. That was giving me a little bit of issues, a little bit of hesitation, but this thing runs so freaking good. And all it was this igniter. I paid $25 for it at the junkyard. I'm willing to bet, though, I still would have needed to do those connectors. So I think all in all, it was just a best case scenario that I did those connectors anyway, along with putting a new igniter on it. But I did take it over to a buddy's house and pressure wash it and got all the tree sap off of it, and I'm ecstatic with how this car turned out. Like the factory wheels, the chrome isn't, like I said before, peeling off of them. And I mean, you can see my reflection in the car now. You couldn't do that before. The paint is faded, like on the rear. I don't know, like you got some clear coming off here, a little bit on the bumper, but yeah, the roof, yeah, you can get a good view of that. That will polish out, and you can see, that's a good angle right there. See that spot that's like a mirror compared to the rest? Well, I did a little test hit right here with some compound and polish, and it brings all this crap out. So eventually I'm going to finish the whole car because it's kind of an eyesore having a circle of clean paint, cleaner paint. But yeah, this thing turned out freaking great. No issues. Yeah, 163,000 miles. I thought it was 67 for whatever reason. But yeah, that'll conclude this first video of getting this car and getting it cleaned up and getting it started. Didn't have to do a whole lot. This car sat for multiple years under a tree. For that reason, right there, $25 igniter at a junkyard. And I'll remind y'all, I paid $1,500 for this car. And I'm not even into this car $100. Getting it running and driving. I mean, I could not have found a better deal. There's a little spot in the seat right here I could probably get out, but yeah, I'm stoked. If y'all want to see more on this car, I am going to do a single turbo kit 100%. I actually figured out a pretty easy way to fund that ordeal, so yeah, I'm getting into that pretty quickly because that's my whole goal with this car. I've always wanted to do it, and I'm not going to waste any time doing it. So if y'all like IS300 content, the 2JZ stuff, which I'm sure you do, I mean, it's a pretty wide platform, a lot of fans out there, so y'all let me know. And thank y'all again for watching. Sorry if this video was a little too long. Obviously you can skip around, but maybe this will help one of you guys on y'all's cars. I know there's a lot of other different things that can cause kind of the no start on these, but in my case it was indeed the igniter. So thanks guys for watching, and we'll see y'all in the next one.